The podium now to Mr. Guruprasad Biswal, CEO, Aerospace, Defence and Civil, Bharat Forge Limited. May I please invite you here, sir?
I'll try to finish this in 15 minutes. Our respected dignitaries on the dais, the distinguished STAGMA members, esteemed tooling entrepreneurs, valued industry users, and the fellow champions of the Indian manufacturing excellence. Before actually I give my thoughts on the tooling into a very important sector, that's defense and aerospace, I'll just begin this with my gratitude to this tooling fraternity. When I look back into my career, when I started in HAL in 1995, this is my 30th year in aerospace, and I actually give part of these credits to my initial days at HAL. I was posted in a very remote area. Many people would not have heard of the name Koraput back in Odisha. So in 2001, we were just trying to get ready for manufacturing the Sukhoi engines, the Su-30 engines, which the Indian Air Force wanted HAL to manufacture and had got inducted into the Indian Air Force. And we were looking at how do we set up the state-of-the-art plant in that remotest of the place. I reach out to quite of my industry friends, and I'm sure they're here, though I haven't met them today. I remember Paresh Bhai, I remember Daniel, Ramesh, I remember Vinith. I just said to them, look, I want to set up one of the best tool rooms in this part of the world because every tooling that we did for the earlier programs for the MiG-21s and MiG-27s were all imported. They said, yeah, we are in CAD-CAM and we would help you do that. So they said, okay, we'll come. I said, I don't have a computer even. I remember Mr. Paresh, if he's there around, he and his wife literally were traveling from Mumbai to Koraput with the entire CPU packed. There were no laptops with that kind of a processing speed. The support had been tremendous. 90% of the tooling that we did for Sukhoi 30 had been with many of the people around. So I actually give this gratitude to the people here who had helped me to reach this position and actually driving the growth. I was discussing today morning with Mr. Deepak that the aerospace as an industry follows or piggybacks on the automotive. The mass manufacturing, the scaling up that India has gone through when leaders like Maruti brought into India, actually, we are banking on that. And I'm sure if the defense industry is growing, the aerospace industry is growing, 99% of the tool manufacturers have been with automotive. We are only trying to educate them or lift them one skill level up to bring it to the aerospace. With this, I'll give my thoughts on what this industry is about and maybe certain areas that all of us can contribute. It is very personal to me. Many of you might not agree to a lot of these perceptions, but I think I had tried to sum up my last 30 years and the future that's going to come to us. And I'm trying to compare this with where the world is trying to grow. If you look at the numbers, India's aerospace market will reach $70 billion by 2030, growing at 13% of CAGR. Boeing estimates India needs 2,210 new aircraft over 20 years. By the way, as we speak today, the number of aircraft that is yet to be delivered is at 17,000. Just imagine 17,000 aircraft of backlogs that is there as we speak today. And the entire thing is all about supply chain. All these aircraft would require 3 to 4 million precision tooled parts. Yet, our tooling industry remains underprepared for this transformation. Consider the global context. South Korea grew aerospace tooling from 50 million to 2.8 billion in 15 years. China invested 12 billion in aerospace tooling capabilities between 2015 to 2020. The global aerospace tooling market is 4.2 billion annually. India's share is less than 1%. Achieving just 5% would create $200 million in revenue and 50,000 direct jobs. So when you look at automotive to aerospace, it's a natural evolution. Entrepreneurs have built world-class automotive tooling capabilities, competing globally with the best. Here is the opportunity. The automotive and aerospace tooling share 70% of the fundamental technologies. The difference lies in application parameters. Aerospace demands a 10-micron precision versus an automotive 50 micron. Just as an example, there are many components which also require 10 microns in automotive. And over 5,000 versus 100,000 operational cycles. The operational cycles in aerospace is much, much larger. The success stories prove this transition works. Take the example, Godrej Aerospace. They leveraged the consumer appliance manufacturing to supply to Boeing, Airbus, and Lockheed Martin. Mahindra Aerospace used automotive experience to become the tier 1 to the global suppliers. Tata Technologies partnered with Boeing for indigenous tooling, achieving 40% of cost reduction and 60% of faster delivery. To entrepreneurs, your automotive expertise isn't a limitation. It's your competitive advantage. To users, partnering with transitioning companies could reduce tooling cost by 30 to 40% while maintaining quality. I'm sure there are a lot of users of aerospace in this gathering. Now, what is the skill imperative? How do we build the aerospace DNA? The critical bottleneck isn't capital or technology. It's skilled human resources. Aerospace tooling demands expertise in nickel superalloys, titanium, composites, the various AS9100 technology standards and the NADCAP certifications, etc. The investment case is compelling. Training one engineer costs 2 lakhs, but increases the productivity value by 15 lakhs annually. Companies with aerospace training centers achieve 40% faster delivery with 25% fewer quality issues. To the policymakers and also to TAGMA here, help us establish the National Centers for Excellence for Aerospace Tooling. In each corridor, government is establishing defense corridor, aerospace corridor. Where is the tooling corridor in this country? The government has allocated 1,000 crores for aerospace skilling, underskilling in India. The utilization rates remain disappointing low. Can TAGMA get into this and have a share of this pie from the government? Do we need strategic OEM partnerships beyond the transactional analysis or the transactional relationship that we have? Our aerospace OEMs hold transformation keys, but current engagement is transactional rather than transformational. Example, Boeing has invested $100 million in Indian supplier development, resulting in $2.5 billion of local sourcing. Airbus has committed $2 billion sourcing by 2025 this year. Yet, these represent components, not tooling. Where is the pie of the tooling in this entire scenario? To aerospace users, establish supplier development programs with technical assistance and long-term commitments. To the entrepreneurs, to all of you here, proactively present capability roadmaps showing how the automotive precision solves the aerospace challenges. India is going to be a global destination. Why will India dominate aerospace tooling? We have 1.5 million engineering graduates annually, manufacturing cost advantages, and strategic location accessing both Eastern and Western markets. Singapore became a global hub through focused strategy. Their 12-page National Aerospace Program now contributes $12 billion of revenue in the GDP. Ireland transformed from agriculture to global aerospace tooling through targeted investments. Indian companies supply tooling to every major manufacturer globally. We need similar focus. The policymakers or TAGMA, we require a unified national aerospace tooling strategy with clear targets and accountability, not multiple documents across the ministries. I'm sorry if I'm being very blunt, but this is the requirement of the day. How do you actually point at the policy levels and how do you unlock the transformations? The current initiatives create opportunities, but the utilization remains suboptimal. The PLI scheme uptake by the tooling companies is below 15%. The specific recommendations, and this is very personal, being in this industry, the Aerospace Tooling Investment Promotion Scheme with a 25% of capital subsidies. The Aerospace Tooling Parks with shared facilities and streamlined approvals. Reverse offset policy mandating domestic tooling sourcing. And the fast track approvals for technology imports and collaboration in the line of tooling technology. The Defense Procurement Procedure 2020 mandates indigenous content but often excludes tooling. This must change. How is technology is going to be an equalizer? The emerging technologies enable leapfrogging traditional constraints. Example, GE Aviation reduced tooling development time 75% using 3D printing. Boeing uses additive manufacturing for 65% of their prototype developments and for the toolings. Airbus smart tooling achieved 30% of productivity improvement. Rolls-Royce uses digital twins for all engine tooling designs. Are we prepared for it? These technologies level the playing field. A Pune tool room can deploy the same advanced technologies as Seattle or Toulouse. Competition shifts from capital intensity to an innovation capability, and that is what India is known for. TAGMA. How can TAGMA become a transformation catalyst? TAGMA's role is pivotal through 5 strategy initiatives. First, established aerospace tooling certification program, validating companies' aerospace readiness. Second, facilitate international partnerships with US, Germany, and Japan aerospace tooling associations. Third, create aerospace tooling consortium, enabling smaller companies to participate in large programs collaboratively. Fourth, establish TAGMA Aerospace Tooling Fund, supporting technology upgrades and certifications. And fifth, advocate unified industry positions on policy requirements at the highest government levels. The economies of transformation goes like this. For every rupee 1 invested in aerospace tooling, it generates 4.5 downstream of economic activity. Every aerospace tooling job creates 2.8 supply chain jobs. ROI in tooling or in aerospace tooling averages 28% annually versus an 18% in automotive. The policymakers should be supporting the aerospace tooling that creates these high value jobs to also increase the exports and reducing the import dependence. The economic case is compelling and so is the business case. What are the global best practices? Example, South Korea succeeded through government R&D. Boeing collaborations and focus skilling now supplies 15% of Boeing 787 toolings. Mexico achieved growth through strategic locations, educational investments, and proactive company attractions. Vietnam's exports grew 300% in 5 years through competitive cost and strategic partnerships in tooling across the globe. These countries succeeded through focused strategies and coordinated execution. India has a superior advantage but needs similar coordination. The roadmap to have a clear milestone, and this is a task that all of us should take here. 2025, 10 aerospace qualified companies, 2,000 certified engineers, 50 millions of exports. And I'm just putting these numbers for all of you to really delve into the next 2 days. In 2027, 50 qualified suppliers, 3 centers of excellence, and 2% of domestic market capture. 2030, $500 million of revenue, a preferred global sourcing destination, and 25,000 jobs. If we need to be successful, we should have a very clear roadmap on what we need to do in the coming 5 years. And what's the call to action? Entrepreneurs, start your aerospace journey today. Invest in precision equipment, develop aerospace capabilities, partner with existing aerospace companies. To the aerospace users, support local suppliers, transformation through dedicated technical guidance, long-term contracts, and capability development. Your success depends on robust local supply base. I would conclude in the next 8 seconds. We stand at a historic inflection point. The global aerospace growth, Indian manufacturing capabilities, and government policy support create unprecedented opportunities. The aerospace industry remembers those who helped build its success. Boeing still partners with 1960s supporters. Airbus maintains relationships with early European contributors. This loyalty creates competitive moats lasting decades. Today, we can become trusted partners for companies building next-generation aircraft. The journey from capability to credibility begins with collective, decisive, immediate action. Consider this. Vietnam's tooling industry did not exist 20 years ago. Today, they are preferred suppliers to global aerospace companies. If Vietnam can achieve this transformation, imagine what India can accomplish with our engineering talent, manufacturing heritage, and market advantages. The question isn't whether India will succeed in aerospace tooling, but how quickly we can transform this capability into a global credibility. With Stagma providing leadership, government providing the support, the entrepreneurs providing innovation, we are not just transforming the Indian tool rooms, we are positioning India as the aerospace tooling capital of the world. India's aerospace tooling future isn't predetermined. It's a choice we make today. Let us choose boldly, act decisively, and build the aerospace tooling industry that our nation has been lacking for long and deserves now. Thank you so much.